Hello there, Vic Benedict here. We're playing Gears of War Judgment, and this is my 3 Stars Declassified Insane Difficulty Guide and Walkthrough. We're currently on Act 5-4. It is entitled State Street Rooftops. So at the end of the last video, I mentioned that this was a weapon-specific chapter. For this one, you're limited to using bolt-ocks and long shots. So it's not too bad. In fact, it's not that challenging. It's just that like always on these weapon-specific challenges, it's more awkward than it is challenging. But for the most part, you're just dealing with you're moving past known spawn triggers, and then or spawn points, excuse me, and then falling back to safe locations. Although these enemies do have a tendency to charge even when they're not necessarily at the end of their spawn. For some reason, these ones just like to rush right up to you. And this challenge, it's one of those challenges where if you just do it, you get the stars, which can sometimes be not as gratifying as if you really had to earn the stars. And it's just one of those challenges, but it's pretty long too, and it's just going to depend on how fast you dispatch the enemies. But you really do need to be careful because as you'll see in this video, and if you played it, you don't get a checkpoint until the end when a Reaver shows up. They didn't have to even give you that, but the only times that I've died on this, and you might have the same experience too, is when these guys just run up to you. It's really frustrating when they do that. But they just run up to you. I mean, it's very frustrating, and whether you live or die is just a flip of a coin. So it's very very sad, when you get a death from that. But as always on these weapon-specific challenges, because it's a weapon-specific challenge, you don't get to use frag grenades. Even if you come across an Onyx cache, you don't even get the grenade drop. So a little unfortunate. This game is so beautiful, though. It really is. And I like this game. And speaking of grenades, I do prefer it in this game where it's a lot faster than the other games, because on the other Gears of War you would have to equip the grenade and then use it. It's a slower process, but in the single player campaign, it works perfectly fine. I really prefer it because it just works so much faster than having to equip something. But I have heard the criticism from people that play multiplayer, played it whenever it was active. But multiplayer, people, in matches and such, they don't have any what's the word? Any like visual notice that somebody's gonna throw a grenade. So I definitely see where that would be frustrating for people who are doing that. But as far as just a single player campaign, it works really. I think it works better. I prefer it, as I mentioned too. And when you do get over here, you want to watch out for those screamers. I don't think they've ever really got a proper introduction in this game, but they were in the third game, and it's pretty much of a nuisance of an enemy. But you want to be careful, especially when they drop to the ground. Very deadly. But for the most part, you do want to try to get the actives as much as possible with the bolt-ock, because it will fire faster when you do not. When you do hit the active reload, it has a increased rate of fire, so that's always good. But of course, it doesn't last very long, and it's situational too. You might have got an active reload and then there's just no enemies around, but When you do push forward, you just want to be listening for anybody using grappling hooks to get up to where you're at, and then you definitely just want to fall back. See, I will spawn enemies and just fall back because for the most part you're in unideal positions, and I can't remember if I've died too much on these parts, but normally, like I was saying at the beginning of the video, it's either deaths from enemies charging at me or a couple of deaths from these screamer enemies. These enemies are just a nuisance, but they should be able. You should be able to take it out. I wouldn't be surprised if one long shot hit on them wouldn't kill them. I'm sure a perfect active reload with a long shot would take care of it, but it's a nuisance of an enemy anyway. It shouldn't require a perfect active reload with a long shot. And that just makes me think that this weapon is not strong enough in the first place. And I don't understand why it's given the designation of a power weapon. It doesn't belong in the power weapon class, in my opinion. And when you are doing this, you might be worried that these normal drops that you pick up, even from the ammo crates, they're not going to give you ammunition for the long shot. But there are frequent pickups of a long shot. You'll just see long shots on the ground, so that does make up for it. And over here there is a cache too that you can completely fill your long shot up with that. And as you can see, we're making good headway with the stars, and I do kind of find it obnoxious that you can't use a grenade on these weapon specific challenges. But when you do get up the stairs, you are gonna get a checkpoint pretty soon, and when you are fighting the Reaver, you don't want to push up too far because you'll spawn some screamers too. So just get up, and I was actually quite surprised that they even give you a checkpoint on the Reaver. So you'll push up here. It's going to kind of lock you into a little scene here. Excuse me. Checkpoint, and you should be all filled up on your ammunition from that cache. And then where you want to stand now is up to you. This thing has a tendency to hide behind the buildings in the distance. So what you'll want to do is just stay back here. Don't cross the way until this thing is out of the picture, because you don't want to have to fight this thing plus screamers. And it's always kind of funny because I can understand the riders on this Reaver, one of which has a torque bow, but the other one is just mounting it, and it's kind of funny because you could kill them too. If you are low on stars, you can try to kill the riders if you want to before you kill the Reaver, but it's generally not necessary. But yeah, as I say, as long as you finish it, you pretty much get the stars. And I think that is one of the failings of this game, because some of the missions, a lot of the missions in this game, it does feel like as long as you just do it, you are going to get the stars, because the multiplier is always pretty high when you're on the Declassified. It's not always the same percent of a multiplier. It varies from stage to stage. Because I remember having the guidebook for this, the physical guidebook, when I was doing this walkthrough before, and it would always have not always, but it would have different multiplayer rates of accumulation for the stars. And this game is long too. I've been playing this game for a really long time, and I don't remember ever doing the Declassified on the final boss. So, because I used to have a walkthrough for this game. It was like 10 years ago I did the walkthrough, but I didn't do Declassified. I just did the normal campaign, but for some reason I have all of the stars saved on my profile, so I must have done it at some point. But this thing, it just takes a long time to kill with this damn slow weapon. But and the splash isn't even that bad with this. As far as his projectiles, that was pretty generous right there too. But anyway, yeah. Now we can cross, and you'll see the screamers. Are they called screamers or streakers? I thought they were called screamers. I'm gonna start screaming if folks don't get out of my way here. Okay, and then I'm trying to think the next declassified. They just take your weapons away from you, and you're gonna have to accumulate a weapon. If that's what I'm remembering. I just can't believe how good this game looks though on the Xbox One X. It's such a beautiful, and I'm not even playing at the full hertz capacity either, because as I say, the 4K software for Elgato, it doesn't let you go up to 120 hertz, just maxes out at 60, but it does allow you to play in 4K, so it's just beautiful all around. It's such a treat to play this game. I feel spoiled to play it. But anyway, there we go. There's the stars at the end. A long mission, but it's just one of those missions where it's quite slow in progressing. And if you go too fast, you're likely to get killed. Anyway, 5-4 is finished. We'll move on to the 5th chapter of Act 5 in the next video. And until then, please take care.